Hey everyone, are you dreaming of owning your very own home here in Montana one day, or you just have the feeling that you'll be stuck renting forever? Well, if so, then this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down step by step how to buy your first home in Montana for 2026, share tips that you won't hear anywhere else, and give you strategies that can save you time, money, and stress. Hi everyone, I'm Carter. I'm a local real estate agent here with Century 21 Shea Realty, and I serve the Butte and Anaconda areas of Montana. And here's why I made this video. A recent stat that I heard right before 2026 hit is that the average first-time homebuyer in 2025 was 40 years old. Now, as a 20-year-old, that's really shocking and scary, and it really got me thinking of what can I do to get younger people ahead and get them thinking about the future of the home buying process and things like that. And what I can do is I can educate them. And so, with the theme of educating and empowering young people, I have linked in the description below my free first-time homebuyers guide, which if you get confused at all or anything in this video, all the steps are laid out perfectly clear in that guide. If you are thinking of buying a house pretty soon or you just want to get ready for it down the line, then please, by all means, go look at that guide. It's really helpful. So now you're on the first step to actually buying a home. So step one is to save for a down payment and improve your credit. I mean, step one and two kind of go hand in hand here because it kind of happens before the actual home buying process. It's more of prep for it than anything. To buy a home, you need a down payment. I mean, if you can do it in cash, that's great. Power to you. But I'm really speaking to everyone else here that can't. So for everyone else, really budgeting and saving is going to be key. Really spending less than you make and focusing on increasing your income. So the key is to spend less than you make and focus on increasing your income. Now, if you would like a video in depth that really helped me understand this stuff, I would really recommend going and watching Alex Hermosi's video on how to build generational wealth. He really goes over the 4 sources of money in there, specifically that section of the video, and I really think it helped break down it really helped me think about money the way he broke it down, and I really think it could help a lot of other people in a similar way. And many first-time buyers, I mean, not even here in Montana, but just first-time buyers in general, can qualify for down payment assistance programs. Now, specifically here in Montana, the USDA can be used a lot for that because USDA it is for rural areas. But if you do just want to go, traditional, get into a house in town, you can always go the FHA route as well. And now a little credit tip while we're still in the prep phase before you do get your pre-approval is that so really aim for a credit score above 580. The higher your score, the better your rates and loan options available to you. And 580 is essential to qualify for the FHA home loan. But if you are going to go traditional, I would recommend aiming for a 740 plus because in a lot of my research for this video, that is what I've seen really starts getting you access to the best rates available for you. Lastly, start budgeting so that you can make sure you are spending less than you make. Countless apps out there for it. You could use the Notes app on your phone if you really want to. Me, personally, I use Notion. I use Notion for track goals, to track my money, to track a lot of things, honestly. I think it's a great tool for that. And I really think that for most people in the U.S., they should be tracking their spending and saving and just all of that if they do want to be prepared to buy a house one day. Not everyone. Obviously, there's some unicorns out there that are just stupidly rich that inherited it. I shouldn't add this in the video, but you get it. I mean, not everyone has to save, and you understand why. Okay, so now we're on to step 2, and this is when you've saved for a little bit, you've gotten your credit up, you have a little bit of money saved. This is when you can go start talking to a lender to get your letter. This is when you can go and start talking to lenders to get your letter of pre-approval. So what you can do is you can talk to a few different lenders, shop around for different loans. If you are already working with an agent, just ask them to connect you with a reputable lender that's in your area. They'd be more than happy to. Or if, say, one of your buddies or family members just bought a house, just ask them to connect you with their lender they use because in both cases, there's someone in common there for both of you for the introduction, which makes things go a lot smoother. So I'm not going to go into depth about any of the loan types, but I do just want to present the most common ones here. And of course, if you are this far in the process, please ask your lenders about any of these or what would be the best one for you. So you have fixed rate mortgages, you have adjustable rate mortgages, you got FHA loans, you got USDA loans, and of course you got the VA loans if you are a veteran, which are awesome. So you and the lender will talk it over, considering what you think you can get / what you want, but ultimately it's going to come down what the lender can get you based on your debt to income ratio, which I'll go over in a minute. And then we'll need, of course your credit score and a little bit of a down payment, depending on what kind of loan you want to go for, of course. So now moving on to debt to income ratio, your lender will also look at this. And for the housing portion of it, you want to keep this under 30% of your debt to income ratio because that's just smart. It gives you room for I mean, even below 30 is even better, but that's like kind of the max you want to be looking at, because that gives you room for emergencies for the house, for medical, for maybe some fun things you want to do if you have a little extra saving money. But you get it, you're not suffocating by this house. You have room to breathe, and you have room to live, really. So avoid taking on any like big financing like a car or any other loans like that, because lenders really want to see your DTI manageable if they are going to be signing you a letter of pre-approval, because this is probably the biggest loan most average consumers will take out in their lifetimes. And these are the three big things a lender will take into consideration when signing you over a letter of pre-approval. But don't stress, it's not like you have to get into a contract tomorrow and buy a house on Sunday, right? Like, you have time to get all of this figured out and optimized for your best home buying experience. And so moving on to step 3, we have determine your budget, and that kind of goes into the DTI, the debt to income ratio we just talked about, keep down to the 30%. But there's a little bit more things that go into that than just the loan on the house. Of course, I'm sure you know that, but let's dive into it. So especially here in Montana, you're going to want to factor in heating costs in the wintertime, because winters can be a little harsh. Maybe snow removal, depending if you want to do that yourself or you just have too big of an area to do that yourself. All these need to be taken into consideration as well. Don't forget property taxes and homeowners insurance, depending on what kind of loan you take. Oh, and of course, if you join like an HOA or anything like that, or there's just a overseeing like kind of club for the thing. Ah, fuck. Give me 2 seconds. All right, so we've determined your budget, got your pre-approval letter, and got credit. We got everything taken care of. So now we get to the fun part. You can start house hunting. And there's a few different ways you can do this. There's the basic ways. You can go to Zillow, you can go to realtor.com, you can even go to my website. But I think the best way to start house hunting is to find a local expert of the area. Personally, that's how I feel. Just a local agent is invaluable. They know the neighborhoods, they know deal breakers, they know the local market trends, and they also know people like lenders and can connect you, and like people like the title company and stuff like that. Even though that's a different topic for another day. Well, more like later in the video, but you get it. A pro tip when you're house hunting is, if you really like a house, you should definitely visit the neighborhood, during different times of the day to get a feel for like the vibe of the neighborhood, the traffic, how close you are to certain amenities you want, like schools, grocery stores, gas stations, things like that. Just to really get a feel throughout all times of the day if that is somewhere you would like to stay. So now we're on to step 5, which is making an offer. So once you find the right property, your agent will write up an offer with contingencies like financing, inspection, or appraisal. And multiple offers can occur. So kind of be prepared to negotiate quickly, because sellers can accept, refuse, counter. Sellers can accept, refuse, or counter the offer. Those are the 3 things they can do. So just kind of be ready to negotiate with them if this house is something, if like this house wasn't like a shot in the dark for you, if it's something you really want to negotiate for. In a situation where multiple offers occur, it can make the process become a little bit longer, but I mean, there have to be a lot of offers. There's be a lot of offers, like so many offers for it to really affect like the timeline of your. And finally, we make it to the inspection and closing day. After your offer is accepted, so you guys will go through the final walkthrough, and that really just ensures that the house is exactly how you agreed to buy it upon, and there was nothing else, kind of no other miscellaneous little things that are dinged in the house that are wrong with the house, or things they didn't know about. It's really just ensuring that this is how you agreed to buy the house upon. So you need to finalize mortgage and paperwork, which you'll need to review carefully to make sure everything is how you wanted it on there. And then sign the appropriate documents on time. And then 3, you make it to the closing day. So you pay closing costs, transfer funds, and receive the keys and ownership of the house you just bought. Congratulations, you're a homeowner. I do want to touch on closing costs for just a second here, because a lot of people get confused by them. And I know I got confused by them a little bit when I was first learning about them. So essentially, the closing cost is the fee that you pay the guy or gal down at the title company for writing up everything they did that day. And this can roughly range from 1% to 5% of the purchase price, so just be kind of prepared for that. But in a lot of cases I see these days, a seller will credit some amount of money towards the closing costs. It might cover all of it, it might not, but that is something you can negotiate in the offer as well. So you are officially the owner of the new home you just bought, so now it's time to move in and protect your investment. And once you move in, you need to change locks for security, obviously, right? It's like step 1. Step 2 is you should probably update your mailing address for work, any mail you're getting, subscriptions, anything that you want to come to your house or that needs to have your new legal address on it really just should be updated. And then you need to set up the utilities in your name, so like water, garbage, power. And then of course you need to organize all the documents that you guys just went through to buy this house, either physically or digitally, just that protect yourself for tax purposes and insurance purposes down the line. And a great little pro tip is have a home emergency fund. So say 1 to 2% of what your home is valued at, just put that into a home emergency fund every year, and that can be used for things like repairs on the home. That's what I would save it for things for the home personally. I wouldn't just be spending that money for vacations and crap like that. But yeah, really, that's a really good tip, and honestly, it gives you a lot of peace of mind knowing that you do have money to fix the house in case. But now I want to go over a little bit of the importance of why I think it's important to own a house in this day and age. So one is to build equity and wealth. Each payment, your mortgage is going down, which you are gaining more ownership in the home, unlike renting where that money pretty much just goes away and leaves you with no advantages in ownership. And number 2, so owning a home protects you from rent increases, and rent increases, it's kind of just part of the business model, right? Like inflation goes up, you can't cut costs anywhere else in the business, let's raise the rent. I mean, it's kind of part of the business model, right? So to really protect against that, you kind of have to own your own home or find a stellar landlord. I mean, stellar. Like one who does not care if their business fails. Of course, owning your own home can give you tax benefits. So the tax benefits, home ownership can give you deductions on mortgage interest and property taxes, which can save you thousands over time. And then, of course, if you own your own home and, of course, you're not belong to like an AOH or anything like that, you have pretty much pure creative freedom to do what you want. I mean, you can tear down a wall, put a new one up. You can paint the wall however you want, put a little window in. You have full creative freedom, which most people really don't get when they're renting because it's not their house. So now I'll leave you some extra tips that'll make life a little bit easier throughout your whole home buying process. Look for first-time home buyer programs like USDA programs, FHA programs, or city-specific grants. And in Montana, consider the energy efficiency. High heating costs in Montana winters make energy-efficient homes really worthwhile here. And then if you do have plans for future resale, I mean, things like neighborhood, lot size, school district, amenities nearby can really affect the long-term value of your house. And don't skip insurance like homeowners insurance. And if your property does need it, make sure you don't skip out on like wildfire insurance or floodplain insurance. So if any of this seemed kind of complicated for you, or you really just want a step-by-step breakdown that you can go over yourself, feel free to download my free first-time homebuyer's guide in the description below, where it goes over everything I just stated, plus some more tips specific for Montana. And if you found this video helpful, please hit like and subscribe, and leave a comment with any questions you have about buying your Montana home.